So we've been in Ghana for a few years now, and there's still a few things that there's still
Wait, what? The Ghana man himself has things he doesn't like, dare I say even hate about Ghana?
Wait. I love being here, but let's not pretend it's all perfect.
Okay, well, if you caught our OG 10 Things We Hate About Ghana video, this is the follow-up.
Yeah, we recorded that one like 5 years ago, and it took off.
But we weren't lying then, and we're not lying now. This is our honest take on what daily life still throws at us living here in Ghana.
Yep. Now, before you get all fired up in the comments, hear us out. This isn't about bashing Ghana.
Exactly.
We are not those people.
No, we've been here for years now, and these are just the things that we've noticed to do some improvements. And honestly, a lot of these are opportunities too. So
yep, just real talk.
Yep.
From people who live here every day.
So with that, let's get this video started.
Akwaba, and welcome to Expat Life Ghana. I'm Tony, and this is my wife, Ayo. We're documenting our move from Texas to Ghana as we go beyond the return.
Spoiler alert, number 7 drives me up the wall. Let's get the first thing we still hate about Ghana out. This one might leave you scratching your head.
Or your back, or your leg, or your face, or your neck. It's the mosquitoes here. Here in Ghana, you don't get a break ever.
There is no such thing as mosquito season. It's just mosquito life, like all day, all night, all year.
Yeah, you'll be out enjoying dinner, vibing with friends, and out of nowhere, boom, you're the mill. When I go out at night, I'm in long sleeves, pants, socks, looking like I'm about to go on a camping trip in Alaska or something, you know.
Totally true.
And still, whatever exposed skin, they will find.
And this really speaks to, I think, like the standing water situation. Mm-hmm. I think that's really part of it.
Yes. The open sewers that hold water are breeding grounds, and with the humidity, it's never-ending battle with year-round mosquitoes.
But here's the wild thing. We've never gotten malaria. Not once.
Not once. So if you're planning a trip or moving here, let this be your heads up. Bring your bug spray. If you have a compromised immune system, consider the malaria tabs during your vacation. Maybe even pack those citronella wristbands that don't work. Now, if you think that's rough, wait until we talk about number 2.
This next one hits you when you least expect it. It's the supply inconsistency with imported stuff. I know this is the one I added. Am I totally spoiled?
Yeah, maybe just a little. You know, shopping here is not like a run to Costco in the States. And the things you get used to buying in the same store every time can sometimes just be gone. Just random, gone forever. Or maybe just a few months. Who knows?
It's so annoying. Like you walk into the grocery store to grab some grits, which took years for us to even find. Or maybe even your favorite hot sauce, yeah. And it's nowhere to be found. And when you ask the staff, they hit you with the classic, like, check back in a week.
Yeah, weeks turn out to be months. It's just, oh my goodness, no consistency.
None at all. So to be clear, basic stuff is always around, like your gari, rice, yams, water sachets, you're good. But if you're hunting down some of those specialty items from back home, well, when you see it, you better buy 3.
Y'all know I love grits, and I'm happy to report that they're pretty consistent here. So I'm glad about that. But if you are the type to cook with specific ingredients or rely on certain appliances, it messes with your routine. Sometimes you're just out here improvising dinner like an episode of Chopped.
Ooh, I would watch that Chopped Ghana. Mm-hmm. And you said something else, the appliances, because well, hold on. We're going to get to that later in the video. Just when it comes to things in the supply chain, what is the workaround? I mean, the only workaround I can think of is just being flexible.
Basically. Now, while we're on the topic of being flexible, let's talk about the roads and not them manholes that got you needing a bacchiotomy.
No. We're talking about the wild, wild world of trotros and taxis.
It's like public transportation meets the Hunger Games and the odds are never in your favor. The unregulated nature of the transportation system is a part of the infrastructure that needs serious and immediate attention.
Motos are the motorbikes, and you can hail a ride on those.
But not if you value your life and limbs. There are menace out there, and for the most part, dangerous. Riding in between lanes, running traffic lights, and scratching your paint job.
Yeah, just skip the motos altogether.
Still, for locals, the system works. It's chaotic, but it works. The real problem, it's completely unregulated. No trotro stands, no maximum number in certain locations, no accountability in case of accidents.
Yeah, some trotros look like they are held together with a prayer and duct tape, and they are darting in and out of moving traffic totally willy-nilly. And I'm talking about 60 kilometers an hour on the motorway, and they will see a fare and just stop.
Yeah, trotros stop in the middle of the road. Taxis do U-turns from the far right lane. Trucks are so overloaded.
Sometimes it's entertaining, but most of the time it's kind of terrifying.
And just to throw it out there, the government is working on more modern mass transit, but transportation is a big business here, and there's some resistance to change. Let's talk about one thing that'll test your patience and your hunger: customer service.
Specifically, ordering food and going out to eat. I mean, if you think you're about to pop into a spot, grab a quick bite, and be out in 20 minutes, bless your heart.
And there have been so many times we've ordered, waited an hour only for one plate to come out. Then another 30 minutes later, someone brings the appetizer after
You're
you're
done
done eating.
eating.
Half the time, it's the wrong thing, or missing the sauce, or the drink you asked for, or it's finished.
That's the worst one.
This just happened to us. We drove out of our way to go somewhere that looked amazing for our date night. We were greeted by a very nice girl, ordered. 50 minutes later, my stomach is rumbling, and she brings out the meal.
She brought out my meal, which was not what I ordered.
Nope. And you were almost done when your side came out.
After I was done with my meal.
Yeah, and I'm still there. My stomach's rumbling. Finally, my meal came almost right. And then the drinks arrived.
And mine was wrong again.
It's just to say that there has to be a way to address the level of service provided by businesses as a way to improve the service industry at large. One trick I've learned: get into the habit of greeting people when you arrive, say hello, ask how they're doing. It goes a long way.
That's true. And then when you order, ask the server to repeat it back to you. I know it feels awkward and a little bit extra, but trust me, it saves you from that weird, this is not what I ordered moment 45 minutes later.
Oh, and when they say your food will be ready in 15 minutes, go ahead and double that.
Or triple it.
Yeah. Time estimates here are, let's just say, aspirational. But let's talk about the financial heartbreak of paying premium prices for not so premium quality.
This one really stings because you expect that if you're paying top dollar, you're getting something top tier. And that is not always the case.
You might shell out serious cash for furniture, appliances, electronics, and then it breaks in a few weeks, or it's already scratched when it's delivered, or it just doesn't work like it should.
Remember that dude who threw our sofa in the back of the truck? You were like, ah. Now remember, we didn't ship anything from the US. So when we got here, we really had to get everything. And I wanted an air fryer. Really wanted an air fryer. So I bought one, brand new, paid above average price because I wanted it to last. And a week later, the knobs did not work. Sometimes I'd plug it in and nothing. So disappointing because no one wants to throw money away, especially me.
And when something breaks, there is no way to repair it.
That is the worst
part. Yeah. I did construction and home maintenance back in the US, so I know how to fix things. We had a faucet leak that just needed a washer and some seal, and the plumber was like, "You need a new one."
A whole new sink.
Yeah. The next time it happened to a different sink, I called a different plumber. Same thing.
Yeah, there are no repair services for most things other than like cars. So if it breaks, you are SOL and probably going to have to replace it.
I will say I have located a repair person or two in the last 5 years. And, they fix one thing and break another. The other half, they don't have the right parts on
No
hand to make the
parts.
repairs. Right. So they rig it together the best they can or keep it forever waiting on the part to come in.
That part will be in no time. All of this, both ways, just they suck.
Yeah. The grade of electronics here is not as high as in the US, which means some things don't last as long or work at the same level in most cases. Sometimes that brand you know and love sends their less nice versions to the continent.
Now, we're not saying there's no quality stuff here, because there is, but you've got to hunt for it and ask around. Like, word of mouth is going to be your best friend.
It's 2025, doom source still a thing.
I know, this was in our video the first time around. But wait. I will say that compared to 5 years ago, it is a lot better. I mean, seriously, the consistency has improved a lot. The internet is faster, power is more stable. There's even fewer water interruptions. They just don't seem as frequent. So,
Yeah, that said, outages still happen and they always seem to hit at the worst possible time.
for real, like when you just sat down to a Zoom meeting and lights off.
Or editing a video and poof, lights out. These things make it hard to run a business or even harder to attract digital nomads and promote global enterprise.
Yeah, it's got to get better. I mean, it is getting better, but you still have to consider backup options like power banks and generators and water storage tanks and solar lights and those kind of things.
Let's talk about another thing that still frustrates me about Ghana.
Uh-oh, I feel like this is going to get trashy. Gutters, beaches, streets, plastic, paper, bottles. It's everywhere. Trash is everywhere.
It's really unfortunate because Ghana is a beautiful place, but the trash in and around the capital of Accra is downright shameful. Um, I
Yeah.
mean, I see the locals throw stuff on the ground with zero shame. Burning trash so common, but that smell, it's not good for the environment. The air in the
Yeah.
mornings is
Oof.
horrible. Yeah, it's how a lot of folks deal with waste, but it does a number on the air quality.
Yeah, sometimes I have to like put my mask on because I can't take smelling that stuff. Now, here's a little history for you. Back in the day, my dad used to say all the time that everyone was expected to clean the front of their house or their shop. And if you didn't sweep it up, the local community would fine you.
Community pressure worked. We don't know where that went, but honestly, we'd love to see that come back. No, this next one I usually try to stay out of. I'm not a citizen. I don't want to come across like I'm here trying to tell folks how to run their country.
But I am a citizen and I've got some things to say.
I'll back you up from a very safe distance.
Okay. Look, Africa is rich. It's rich in people, in resources, in brilliance. We've got everything we need right here on the continent, but the leadership mindset is where the gap is.
It's like waiting for permission or still playing by somebody else's rule book.
Too many of those old exploitative relationships with the West are still running the show behind the scenes. And I just think it's time to break the chains. The continent just needs a clean break from the imperial leftovers and a purposeful shift towards an Africa first agenda.
And when we say Africa first, we don't mean isolation.
No.
We mean prioritizing African people, African innovation, African economies.
Yes, and a unified, organized, and forward thinking approach to development that is not based on aid or approval from the West. The potential is really here. It's just waiting on leadership that's bold enough to tap into it.
And honestly, the energy in Ghana and across the continent is shifting. You feel people wanting better, demanding better, um, from government, from systems, and from each other.
Yeah, but we still kind of do need more vision from the top, not just this approach of managing problems, an approach of solving problems so that the leadership is really leading and they're building systems that actually work for the people, not just the systems that they borrowed from the West. I feel like they're not meant for this context in the first place. So the first time someone said there's a noise ban tonight, we legit thought they were joking.
Yeah, like, sure, no noise, got it. Then the speakers went off, the DJ packed up, and everybody disappeared like it was an evacuation.
We didn't even realize it was serious until the party just stopped. No warning, no notice, just shut it down and go home.
Turns out these bans are tied to local traditions like funeral rites or other sacred observations by the chieftaincy or tribal groups.
Which we absolutely respect. Culture matters. But here's the challenge. These things are usually happening during the same season that you want to celebrate, like holidays and festivals and birthdays or family visits. So it makes it all a little confusing and a touch frustrating.
And you usually don't get a heads up, no poster, Facebook event, no village WhatsApp, nothing. So if you don't know the tradition or times of year and you throw a party anyway, nothing kills the vibe like showing up to a quiet club with a birthday sash on.
That sounds so sad. Or blowing out your candles in total silence.
Yeah. Let's move on from quiet parties to noise.
Just noise. Okay, let's talk about the real reason that I'm tired all the time.
Yeah, it's not the jet lag or the traffic or the kids.
Nope. It's the chickens.
The roosters at 4:32 every morning, every single morning.
And then there's the goats, and they all get started, and then the dogs chime in, and then the birds.
Yeah.
3 a.m. There
Yep.
is a bird at 3 a.m.
On the first Sunday of the month, add in the churches with the loudspeakers at sunrise.
It's like surround sound concert that you didn't buy tickets for and you can't turn off.
Yeah. And don't get us started on the random horns, hammering, and someone blasting music like it's a block party on a Tuesday morning.
5:55 last weekend, the guy was hammering across 5:55.
Sun was up.
It's not just the noise, it's just like this cacophony of sound. So if you are used to like a quiet neighborhood with soundproof windows and no noise, nature's alarm clock has an entirely different plan for you.
At first, I thought I'd get used to it. Now, I'm just conditioned to wake up when the rooster says it's time. So yeah, after all this, these things are still part of our day to day.
We are not complaining. We live here, we choose this, and we still love it.
But being real about it helps people adjust their expectations.
So if you are planning a move or even a visit, watch this again, bookmark it. Remember, Ghana isn't perfect, but nowhere is. If you want peace of mind to sit confidently in your blackness and the chance to connect with your roots, that comes sometimes with a few minor inconveniences, but it is well worth it.
If you're ready to explore Ghana for yourself, get your free tour guide or check out our curated tours at expatlifeghana.com/tours.
And if you've got your own hard truth list, drop it in the comments. I totally want to hear it. All right, y'all, thanks for hanging out with us. Hit that like button, share with your relocation group, and don't forget to subscribe.
We'll see you in Ghana. And with that, Sale out for now.
One last thing I hate is when people come to do service work at your house and they use your stuff and they don't take care of it. I don't understand. Like, you don't even have one. You came and you're going to use mine. You're going to bust it up. What is wrong with you? And then the service guy, that same guy that was here the other day, took his sachet and threw it on the floor in my own yard. I was like, don't clean up after him. Okay, I'll stop.